let's dig into it. In just a few hours, 8 Republican presidential hopefuls will face off on the debate stage for the first time ahead of the primaries. Notably absent Republican frontrunner former President Donald Trump, Robert Costa in Milwaukee ahead of the debate with a preview of what we could see.
The final touches are being put in place, and the Republican presidential candidates are getting ready for tonight's debate.
Let's go!
Thank you, my man.
Holding prep sessions with advisors and rallying their supporters.
USA! All right. USA, brother.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, running second in the polls but hoping to close the gap with Trump, has taken aim at the frontrunner for being a no-show.
Everybody should debate. Everybody has a responsibility to earn people's votes.
But tonight might not be all about the former president and his 4 criminal indictments. A CBS News poll shows Republican voters want candidates to make the case for themselves instead of against Trump. And the top issues they want to hear about are plans to address inflation, violent crime, and illegal immigration. Still, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie believes you have to go through Trump if you want to be the nominee, and has slammed Trump for skipping the debate.
His voters are looking for authenticity. Now, like it or not, Donald Trump is authentic. He's just an authentic liar.
Without Trump, others, especially lesser-known contenders, might find a bit more political oxygen to make their pitch and get noticed.
You're going to have a serious policy discussion between the other candidates, and there's a lot of differences there.
For Vivek Ramaswamy, his rise in the polls has put him center stage, and that comes with added scrutiny, including comments he made to The Atlantic about a conspiracy theory that the U.S. government may have been involved in the 9/11 attack.
I think it is legitimate to say how many federal agents were on the planes that hit the Twin Towers. Like, I think we want it. Maybe the answer is 0. Probably is 0, for all I know, right? I have no reason to think it was anything other than 0.
On Tuesday, he was asked to clarify.
Do you think there were federal agents on planes on September 11th?
Of course not.
While Trump won't be here in Milwaukee, it will not be a low-key evening for the Trump campaign. Later today, a video of a pre-recorded interview between Trump and former Fox News host Tucker Carlson will be posted online. And here in this city, Donald Trump Jr. and top Trump campaign officials will be here to mix it up and project confidence. Robert Costa, CBS News, Milwaukee.
The Democratic Party is not holding a primary debate this election. While it's being criticized, neither major party has held primary debates when they have an incumbent in the White House seeking re-election since the 1970s. The front runners for their Democratic Party are President Joe Biden, lawyer Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and 2020 candidate Marianne Williamson. And back to former President Trump's absence from tonight's Republican debate. This weekend, he wrote on his social media site, quote, "The public knows who I am and what a successful presidency I had. I will therefore not be doing the debates." Now, Trump is also expected to be busy this week with a trip to Atlanta tomorrow. He will be reportedly turning himself into the Fulton County Jail related to last week's indictment. The former president and 18 others are facing charges for allegedly participating in a criminal enterprise aimed at reversing Trump's 2020 electoral loss in Georgia. And just hours ago, co-defendant Rudy Giuliani turned himself in. His bond was set at $150,000. Nicole Killian has the latest from Fulton County.
Overnight, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office released the first mugshots of 2 of former President Trump's co-defendants in the sprawling criminal case in Georgia surrounding the alleged effort to change the state's results after President Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Scott Hall, a Georgia bail bondsman, is facing 7 counts, including conspiracy to commit election fraud. John Eastman, one of the alleged architects of the former president's strategy to use false electors, was also booked and released Tuesday.
I am confident that when the law is faithfully applied in this proceeding, all of my co-defendants and I will be fully vindicated.
So far, a dozen of the 19 co-defendants have secured bond agreements, including the former president, who has a bond set at $200,000 as he continues to deny any wrongdoing. Outside the Fulton County Jail, security is being stepped up as the sheriff warned of a hard lockdown ahead of Trump's expected arrest Thursday night. But a key member of Trump's inner circle, former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, asked for an extension to surrender, but he was rejected by the DA, who threatened to file warrants for his arrest after 12:30 p.m. Friday.
Meadows is one of 3 defendants seeking to move the case out of Fulton County to federal court. Meantime, overnight, 2 more defendants turned themselves in. They include Kathy Latham and David Schaefer, who are both accused in the false elector scheme. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Atlanta.
Former President Donald Trump is facing other state and federal charges. In New York, state prosecutors charged Trump with falsifying business records about a hush money payoff before the 2016 election. The trial is set to begin in March. And in Florida, the Justice Department brought more than 36 felony counts. They accuse him of illegally possessing classified documents after leaving the White House and concealing them from investigators. That trial begins in May. Over in Washington, D.C., Trump was indicted on felony charges for working to overturn the results of the 2020 election in the run-up to the January 6th Capitol riot. The Justice Department brought 4 felony charges against him in that case.